Welcome back. Well, in light of recent strength in Bitcoin and some of the other cryptocurrencies, we wanted to take another look at the Bitcoin S&P 500 correlation. Essentially, what this does is it measures the rate of change over 30 days in Bitcoin and compares that to the rate of change in the S&P 500 over 30 days as well. The idea is that the two markets more or less are correlated, meaning that when we have a risk on type of environment, traders will buy stocks, they'll also buy cryptocurrencies. When they want to reduce risk, they'll also sell both markets. Now, we see here the blue line shows us Bitcoin. The white histogram bars show us the divergence between Bitcoin and the S&P 500. So for example, when we see this white histogram bar move up higher, it shows us that Bitcoin is outperforming the S&P 500. But it's not a straight line. We actually see that for the most part, at least going back to late 2021, we seem to be very much in a locked market, meaning we never really see Bitcoin underperform or outperform the S&P 500 by more than a factor of 25%, meaning that when Bitcoin goes up, then the S&P 500 may follow. And if Bitcoin goes down, then the S&P 500 may follow as well. The two markets tend to work in somewhat of a correlated relationship. Take a look at the second quarter 2021. The red line is Bitcoin. The white line is the S&P 500, the Bitcoin S&P 500 correlation. Now, we do find breakouts. For example, when we see Bitcoin was underperforming the S&P 500 by a factor of around 30%, we see that was a real significant low. That was probably a very wise time to buy Bitcoin because, relatively speaking, it was undervalued. We know this because the white histogram bars are hitting lower. Now, we see the fourth quarter 2021, same situation. The blue line is Bitcoin, and we see these black histogram bars, which show us again the correlation or the divergence, I should say, between Bitcoin and the S&P 500. When these black histogram bars are moving lower, it shows us that Bitcoin is underperforming the markets. Fast forward to present day. Now, the black histogram bars again show us the divergence, Bitcoin S&P 500. Notice going back to January 2023, we had a 25% outperformance, meaning Bitcoin is outperforming the S&P 500 by around 25% during that period of time. And again, this looks back for 30 days in terms of performance. Where were the markets 30 days ago? Where are the markets now? And calculate those percentages. So at this point, we can see that Bitcoin is very, very strong. But we want to take a look back and say, okay, well, where did it really start? It really started, this Bitcoin rally really started at the beginning of January 8th, more or less. That's when they were both valued, and the Bitcoin and S&P 500 were both evenly valued. All of a sudden, Bitcoin outperformed the S&P 500. Well, this is what it actually looked like. Bitcoin is the yellow line. The S&P 500 is the blue line. Notice January 8th, Bitcoin's at 3,900. 17,000. S&P 500 to 3,900. Well, all of a sudden, very quickly, Bitcoin rallied from 17,000 up to 22,700. The S&P 500 stayed at 3,900. We still had very significant lows. Now, eventually, the stock market did follow through, and the S&P 500 rallied up to around 4,180. So the idea is that maybe the Bitcoin rally forecasted the eventual stock market rally. Maybe Bitcoin is a leading indicator of sorts. Now, we don't know this. This is the theory, the hypothesis. But we go back to present day, and we see here the histogram bars show us a 20% divergence, meaning right now Bitcoin is outperforming the S&P 500 over the past 30 days by a factor of around 20%. If history is any judge and any guide, and we can look back to January and we say, well, Bitcoin took off and then the S&P 500 followed through, does this mean that now, again, that as Bitcoin took off, as we see over here, as Bitcoin took off, that maybe the S&P 500 will follow through again? This is a hypothesis. We're going to watch these charts very closely, and we're gonna come back and revisit this idea And maybe we'll be able to find an interesting trading strategy out of this as well. We hope this has been helpful. We look forward to seeing you back soon.